what's happening? No capping. We with AO, about to get a plate bowl. Pull up to the table, let's go.
Yo, let's get straight to it, man. What Jay-Z is saying is 100% spot on. You know, I have 3 rules when it comes to, family, right? Number 1 is I don't even have the conversation about money amongst my family. And I would suggest that you do the exact same thing. You know, a lot of my family know that I don't do debt. My philosophy on money is different. So I've actually set up boundaries, watch this, to where my family knows, hey, I'm not gonna ask you about your money and you don't talk to me about money. Because if you ask me about what should you do with the money, more than likely I'm gonna tell you, hey, let's not even have that conversation. But if you press me, you may not like my answer. So I really come home to laugh, to be the goofball of the family. My family is very big on singing. We get around and just sing a bunch of gospel music. Like I get around my family and they call me Little Anthony, because my father's name is Anthony. And I don't want to talk about money. I don't want to talk about getting out of debt. I don't want to talk about how do you build wealth. Yo, I just want to be little AO. I just want to be little Ross, little Anthony. Let's not talk about money. So that's the very first thing. I don't even get involved in my family's money business. I don't give them advice. I don't give them suggestions. They watch my show. You can pull from that. But I really try to make sure that I respect them, because I want them to respect me so I could be Anthony, little Anthony. Really, I'm the big Anthony, but I'm really the little Anthony because of my father. Then number 2, I don't lend money out. I do not lend money out to family because one thing that I really believe in is that, most people who say, can I borrow something, especially family members or close friends, 9 times out of 10, they say, I'll pay you back in 1 week. They're not gonna pay you back in 1 week. And then now you have a grudge towards a family member. Now you have a grudge towards your friends. And so my whole philosophy is if I see a family member or a friend in need and I can afford to give them that money. Now watch this. Afford doesn't necessarily mean, do I have the cash? No, afford means if I give this person this cash, this income, this money, does it prevent me from building wealth? Does it prevent me from starting a business? Does it prevent me from doing something for my family, for my kids, or for my wife? Like, can I afford to give this to that family member? And if I can afford to do that, then I would do that. Afford doesn't mean, well, they need $100. I got $1,000 in my savings account, so I can afford to do that. No, if they need 100 and I only have 1,000, but I was gonna go spend 1,000 on my wife's anniversary gift, then I can't afford to give that to them. Or I had that $1,000 and that's my emergency fund while I'm getting out of debt. I can't afford to give them that. If I have $1,000 and I wanted to invest into this whatever that's going to generate more income for me and my family, then I can't afford to do that. I never choose family, over my home. But let's just say they need $100 to pay rent and I got a fully funded savings account. I got the money to invest. It doesn't stop. It doesn't prevent. It doesn't do anything. Then yeah, I'm gonna give them the money. No expectations. It's a seed. Hey, it's yours. Don't even stress about paying me back. Okay? Don't even talk about paying me back. It's yours and I got you. But you know what? Well, here's one thing that I do. Throughout the year, I actually have a budget, right? I have a budget of what I will give out to family and to friends. And that budget, baby, let's say for an example, $500 for an example, right? That's not my actual budget, but let's just say it's $500. It's actually more because I actually do pay for my little cousin's schooling for her dancing at school. But let's just say if I have a budget set aside and I just look at that budget, whatever I have left, and if that family member or friend is in need, then boom, I give it to them. And here's the last thing that I do, because I love what Jay-Z and what Kevin Hart was talking about, right? Number 3, I don't really do business with family. Don't come to me with, hey, yo, let me get $1,000. Yo, it's only gonna be $10,000 investment, bro. Man, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be massive. And we're gonna make $1 million. You know what? Here's the thing, man. Like Jay-Z said, it don't work like that, bro. It's not just free. I for the last year, especially on my own, man, I've been busting my butt, building what we are building right now. No family member, no friend gave me money to do this thing. I built this whole studio in here with my hard-earned money. I've been able to get out here and do these things, and of course, with the favor of God blessing me to work with some amazing people in my past, right? But over the last year, I put in my hard work. And so for family members, I want to see them put in the hard work first. I want to see, do you believe in your own dream? Are you willing to sacrifice your own work? Are you willing to sacrifice your own sleep? Are you willing to sacrifice your own self? Before I sacrifice into your vision, you need to sacrifice into it first. And so I don't really do business with my family, right? Until I see that they do it. So here's 3 things, because what Jay-Z and what Kevin Hart said, man, listen, sometimes it is the best thing. Watch this. Ooh, this is so good. I'm gonna end it right here. You can't afford to say yes. What do I mean by that? You can't afford to say yes to your family every time they need something from you financially. You may have the money financially, but you can't afford to do it because you want peace. You want no stress. You want to be around your family. And I know what it feels like to give my family members money, or to give my friends money, and they say, hey, we will pay you back, but then they never paid us back. And I have friends right now. Yo, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? It was in hard times. And you know what? I gave it to them, and they never paid me back. And I'll be honest with you, love them dearly, but there is a little sad taste. Like, you're not a man or a woman of your word. You didn't pay me back. But you know what though? I gave it to them without even expecting them to pay me back. And so my yeses right now are way too expensive. Because why? I love my family. And when I call you a friend, I love you as a friend. And I don't want money to stop that, to prevent us from growing, from loving and enjoying each other's company. So listen, make your yeses very expensive and your no's cheap as heck. Bottom line. And if you do give family members money, have no expectations. Do out of love, doing out of sowing a seed. Don't do business with family unless you see that they are sold in for themselves and you have everything in writing, right? And then you know what? Don't get into their business. Don't offer. My pastor says something. He even says it about me. He was like, hey man, I don't give unsolicited advice. He said, because I love you as a brother. And so he stays in his lane. I stay in my lane. And then if he asks me for my input, if I ask him for his input, then we go into that lane. Outside of that, we don't give unsolicited advice, especially around money when it comes to family. Yo, I'm curious. What are your thoughts? How do you feel? Do you give family money? Do you loan family money? Let me know in today's show notes. It's your boy. I'll see you.